Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. This is more than just a tough season, it's a turning point. With Amorim's honesty, Dalot's determination, and a European final on the horizon, Manchester United are writing a new chapter. The question is, will the storm break them or build them into something stronger? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Should Amorim stay no matter what happens in the final? And will Dalot be fit in time to help lift the trophy? Ruben Amorim's brutal honesty about Manchester United's dismal season is turning the Old Trafford dressing room into a more emotional and vulnerable environment, according to defensive stalwart Diogo Dalot. The Portuguese head coach hasn't sugarcoated United's woes since he arrived. A record of just 6 wins in 26 Premier League games highlights the depth of the club's domestic struggles. In January, he branded this the worst United side in history, and after the club's defeat to West Ham a week ago, he didn't hold back in revealing his own concerns and the fear that he could be sacked if he can't turn the club's fortunes around quickly. That isn't in danger of happening, with Amorim maintaining the support of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who has someone who also shoots from the hip and admires Amorim's honest appraisals. But Dalot said seeing the 40-year-old so clearly suffering was hurting the players, while also encouraging them to show how much it is hurting them as individuals. Personally, it hurts a lot, especially not being able to be on the pitch. It hurts even more, said Dalot. But it is just something he is really honest about. He doesn't hide his emotions. He doesn't hide the type of communication he wants to express. And that makes him an honest guy, an honest person. That is really hard nowadays to find. Managers and players that don't go through what you are supposed to say or are supposed to feel. It just becomes natural. And I think being and seeing him like that, it makes you want to be exactly like that. If it hurts you, it is a good sign, because you want to change things. Amorim has taken the blame for United's woes this season on his own shoulders, constantly placing his own job in the spotlight and taking responsibility for the run of results. But he did say last week that he felt there was a lack of urgency in Premier League fixtures and appeared to hint that players didn't fear losing enough and were starting to accept defeats so regularly have they arrived this season. Even if I don't feel like that, it still hurts to say, because he is speaking about my team, my teammates, my club, said Dalot. I don't want to hear my manager and anybody around the club feeling like that. So what can I do to change that? That is what I focus on the most. I try to evolve as many teammates, as many people as I can, into the same energy, and then you have to fight. It is obviously something the club will address. The players have to address also. We have to look at ourselves and see what can I change to be better and try to get in the same pattern everyone should be. Dalot talks warmly about his fellow Portuguese and the attitude and approach he has brought to the job, but he insists he does have the edge and the anger required to succeed in the Old Trafford hot seat. Don't get me wrong, he is a nice guy, but when he has to give a stick to everybody, he gives a stick. He isn't afraid to say what he thinks, he said. I think you saw that since he came, that he has his own ideas. He will not change for anybody. Because he thinks he is best for the Club, and I can guarantee you it's the best for the club. It will take a little bit of time. We see him as he is. When he is happy, he is happy. When he is angry, he makes sure everybody knows he is angry. We just have to keep building because I believe together we will do great things. Everybody made a headline when he came about the big storm we needed to go through. But that is what we are facing now, and we will get through it. And people will look back to this time as something was big for the club. Amorim put his hand into his own pocket to fund tickets and travel to Bilbao for family members of his backroom staff, a gesture Dalot said showed how much he cares. It shows how much he wants to keep the club united and keep everybody on the same page, and how much he is willing to, in this case literally pay, to be able to everybody be together, he said. I think it is an amazing gesture, in my opinion. It could have been easily all the players doing it, but just him by himself trying to have that relationship is something incredible. For all of United's domestic struggles, they have impressed in Europe and travelled to Bilbao this week, targeting the Europa League trophy and qualification for the Champions League. They unbeaten in 14 European matches and have scored 19 goals in 6 knockout games against Real Sociedad, Lyon and Athletic Bilbao, but they face domestic opponents in Tottenham in the final. Dalot is second most used United player this season, but hasn't featured for a month after picking up a hamstring injury and is in a race against time to be fit for the final. At this stage, I have to go day by day to see how I am feeling every day, but so far so good, he said.
The transfer drama has officially begun, and trust me, you don't want to miss a second of it. Europe's biggest clubs are moving fast, and blockbuster deals are already flying in before the window even swings open. But before we dive into the full scoop, I need you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this summer is going to be wild, and you'll want to stay ahead of the game. From Real Madrid's jaw-dropping £50 million signing, to Liverpool's bold right-back shake-up, to Kevin De Bruyne possibly joining a Premier League rival, this isn't just transfer talk, this is transfer warfare. Let's get into it. The summer transfer window is right around the corner, and Europe's biggest clubs aren't wasting time. Real Madrid have already made the first major move of the summer, announcing on Saturday that they've signed Dean Huijsen in a £50 million deal. Bournemouth defender Huijsen will make the switch on June 1st, allowing him to represent Real at the Club World Cup. The newly expanded tournament is why FIFA have sanctioned 2 summer transfer windows, the first of which runs for the opening 10 days of next month. That gives the likes of Liverpool an opportunity to get their business done early, with Jeremy Frimpong chosen to be Trent Alexander-Arnold's replacement at right-back. That's despite the Reds announcing that Conor Bradley had put pen to paper on a new long-term contract at Anfield. Elsewhere, Manchester United remain in advanced talks with Matthias Cunha, while Arsenal's striker search is continuing. Manchester City are also preparing for a big summer, having lost the FA Cup final to ensure their first trophyless season since Pep Guardiola's maiden campaign in 2016-17. Jeremy Frimpong will reportedly have a medical in the coming days ahead of his £29.5 million switch to Liverpool. The Reds have reached a full agreement with the Dutch right-back, and Bayer Leverkusen have been informed that they'll pay his release clause. Multiple reports suggest that Frimpong, 24, will finalise his move before the international break early next month, and the Netherlands star can't wait to become a Liverpool player. Frimpong will sign a 5-year contract. Manchester City are ready to splash another £180 million to land Liverpool target Florian Wirtz, as well as Tijani Reinders, ahead of next month's Club World Cup. City are on a mission to rebuild Pep Guardiola's squad after investing £180 million during the January transfer window, and have made Bayer Leverkusen playmaker Wirtz and AC Milan's Reinders their top targets. Leverkusen are demanding in excess of £100 million for the Germany international, and that has not discouraged City, who could offer James McAtee as a £25 million makeweight. Milan have made it clear City will have to break the Italian club's £56.3 million transfer record they once banked for Kaka to land creative Dutchman Reinders. Kevin De Bruyne remains open to joining a Premier League rival once he leaves Manchester City. De Bruyne, 33, is due to be out of contract next month, although the Belgian midfielder could sign a short-term extension to feature in the latter stages of the Club World Cup. I want to play good football, whatever the decision will be. I know you're trying to guess where I'm going to go. I will make my decision, and you guys will know when I know, De Bruyne told reporters after City's 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace at Wembley on Saturday. I don't know. It depends who comes in for me. I have a family, I have young kids, and I have to make a decision that suits everybody, not just me. When I'm 20 years old and all by myself, I can make a decision that's very easy, but now it's a bit more complex.